A few months ago, I did the 9.5 mile circuit around Grapham Water in Cambridgeshire on my manual small-wheeled folding bike. Now, it was tough because it's only got 5 gears and the small wheels don't really help, but I wanted to see how it would cope with that kind of terrain. Anyway, the bike done extremely well. I was, my legs felt as if I'd done it, but, we did it. Now, since then, I've got an e-bike, and I wanted an e-bike of more or less the same spec, small wheels, folding. In fact, I found one, and the only difference is that the e-bike is slightly heavier. Now, the e-bike that I got is the DYU A1F electric bicycle, and it's equipped with 16-inch tyres, 7.5 amp hour large capacity battery, I'm having to read this off of here, and a 36 volt 250 watt motor. It has disc brakes front and rear, no gears, but riding it on the level surface, it copes really well. And then you have that pedal assist, so if it starts to get slightly tough, you can bring in that pedal assist by just turning it on, and you can alternate that by giving it a little bit of throttle just to help and get, because there are no gears. Now, you can also use just throttle mode, but I do like to keep pedaling, so that's why I went for this particular bike. And to be honest with you, it is perfect for what I wanted. It folds up just like my other one and fits into my camper van with no need for a rack on the back or any other way of carrying a bicycle. So this is the bikes in their folded position, and as you can see, this one here is the manual and this one here is the e-bike. That's what I wanted. They're more or less exactly the same size and perfect for what I needed. And here they are ready to go. Now, both bikes have folding pedals. They both fold in the middle at this position here, as you can see, and both of them have folding down handlebars. And size wise, the distance between the seat and the handlebars again is identical. So I've found exactly what I need. Now, another little bonus with the electric bike is that it has an alarm, and it's much like a key fob you'd have for a car. And if I set that, let's just wait for this car to go by, and if I set that with the padlock symbol, that's it now alarmed. And if anybody comes along and tries to steal it, and so inevitably, because I've got this bike, same specification, but it is the e-bike, I obviously want to try this around the 9.5 mile circuit of Grapham Water. So what I'll do to start with is just show you some clips from the first attempt around there on the small manual bike, and then I'll sort of tie in some of the footage of me going around there on the new e-bike. So let's see how it compares. Time for a little bit of a walk, just to stretch my legs a bit. These folding bikes are handy little things, but when it comes to comfort on rough tracks, they're not as good as the old rugged mountain bikes. You're telling me, when you've got 5 gears and tiny wheels, it's even steeper. So the little bike is doing really well. It is tougher on one of these because, like I say, it's only got 5 gears and the wheels are quite small, so it's a little bit bumpy. And here we are, nearly right back where I started. So anyway, it is possible to go round Grapham Water on a folding bike with little 15-inch wheels. Thankfully, we've come around the top of the dam, finished that off. So windy, wasn't even worth trying to talk. Anyway, I've been on just basic cycling mode. Remember, this doesn't have any gears, but this so far has been no problem whatsoever. I know that if I need it, I've got the pedal assist, and if I really need it, I've got the throttle. But we'll see how it goes. Well, I didn't start too long ago. That's the dam there that I just cycled around far too windy to be able to talk. The wind has died down now that I'm here. So if we come round here, right opposite where we are more or less now is where I've parked the van, where the big car park is, and I've got a long way to go. As you can see, way in the distance there's a bit of a peninsula comes out there, but it's twice the size at least again around the other side of there. So I'm going to carry on along here now, get to the halfway mark, have a nice cold drink, and then get ready for the second part, which is much tougher. Now, I haven't used the power at all on the bike yet. I've kept it in cycle mode. As I said, it has 3 modes. That's basic cycle mode, no gears, but it's coping so far. If I need that pedal assist, I'll just turn it on, and that'll give me a bit of help. You can adjust the pedal assist by the amount of throttle you give it while you're doing it. And then of course there's a third mode, which is throttle only. Try not to use that too much, but this is 9.5 miles around this Grapham Water, and apparently this should make it and have power left in the battery. Let's wait and see. Right, so I'm on this semi-rough surface, and this bike is still coping perfectly just in cycle mode, so no assist at all. Looks like we're going to get a bit wet. Now I hope on the back part of this course there's not too much of this, because if there is, it's going to be even worse. I'm now coming up towards the village of Perry, and I still haven't used any power source. Right behind you. Okay. You doing the full circuit?
Trying. Yes.
well
well over halfway now. So.
Oh, well done, sir. You got a phone with you, I assume?
I certainly have, yes.
Okay. Good luck.
Not the sleeping bag, so I've got to get back before dark.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. So we've got a bit of a hill. I'm not sure if the camera's showing that, but what I'm going to do from a standing start is, let's just get the switch on here. There we go. Just coast it down the hill here. Oh, let's lift this camera up. Right, through here. So I've got pedal assist now. There we go. Just show you. Right, just bring a little bit of power on, and now you can see how easily this gets you up a hill like this. I mean, I'm going to keep the pedals going, but there you are. Just what I wanted. There, and now I can turn it off, save a bit of the battery, and now it's just in manual mode. But it's up to you. You can have pedal assist on all the time if you want to. Right, I just had to slow right up to go through some really mucky stuff, and then from a more or less standing start, I'm still in manual mode here. It's not a steep hill, but it's certainly a hill. A little bit messy, but as you can see, I don't know if that's showing there, that's there. It's not turned on and it's coping fine. So if you're looking for something like I was looking for, with this, same spec as my other folding bike, goes nicely into my camper van. No need for a rack on the back or anything. Just get it out. Yes, it's got small wheels, just as enjoyable to ride. Well, I'm sure you can see for yourselves. I mean, you know, more or less anywhere you want to go, other than a BMX track or something like that. But yeah, it's coping really well. Yeah, this bike is really, really amazing. Just what I wanted. Like, another slight hill here, quite rough. Still pedaling. Just give that throttle a little bit, and then off and just pedal. We're going back downhill here. Big fly. Right. Down the bottom of the hill. Now there's a slight hill again here. Just get on those pedals. This is just pedal assist, no throttle at all. And okay, you've got to work a bit, but you have with any bike, haven't you? Now it's getting a bit of a struggle. It's quite a heavy bike as well. Let's bring that throttle in slightly. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Okay, it gets a little bit steeper just round this corner. Let's give it a bit more throttle. Look at that. And up we go, look. Is it going to be muddy again? Slightly muddy. Right. Now it also has cruise control, so if you've got that throttle open for more than about a minute, I think it is, just turn the throttle off and it'll cruise while you're pedaling at that same speed. And this is really messy here. One of the reasons I've just got a slight trickle on the throttle is that I don't want the bike to stop and end up splashing in this mud. But as you can see, if anybody says to you, you've got to have your big all-terrain bikes and things, well, this is a little 16-inch wheel bike. My other manual bike is a 15-inch, but I have to say, when they're side by side, I can't tell any difference. But there you go, that's tiny little wheels, coping absolutely perfectly. And I think they've got it. Depends what you're looking for. I know some people want to go miles and miles and miles. If you just want to get out, as I'm doing here, just for a nice little ride through the countryside, and not necessarily just on paths and roads, you can see that from this. And this is the bike. This is perfect. Yep, absolutely perfect. Now I'm just pedaling again with the pedal assist, purely because it's a bit muddy. If you had the gears, you'd be going through them anyway. And then round here, slow it down a little bit, give it a little bit of throttle there. There we go. Okay, just back to normal pedal assist. Not cruise control, just the basic pedal assist. No problem at all. Now I'm going to turn it off. And now we've got nothing. And I'm just pedaling. And that, well, as you can see, that is no problem at all. And if I wanted to, I could open this up, but I'm trying to cut down. Now we've got a sign here. Let me just stop. Lift the camera up so hopefully you can see that. Steep hill, watch your speed. Okay, let's do it. So, have I got the power on or off? Off. Yeah, power's off. So I'm just going to cruise down this hill. No power. I should say as well, it's got disc brakes front and rear. Brakes are very good, a bit grimy at the moment, but. And here we are, back at the water. Now that part of this circuit is a little bit, let's say it's not as pleasant as when you're along the side of the water. That's always the case, isn't it? But here we are, back to the water. And we'll pull over here and have a little bit of a sit down. This is exactly where I stopped the last time and said how well the bike was doing, considering it had small wheels. So I'm going to do exactly the same again now. I'm going to sit on that seat and have a chat about the bike. And as I also mentioned in a previous video, Suzanne and I have now gone to all DJI. This is the Action 4 I'm using here. I've got the Action 1 on my helmet up there, you can probably see. And I've got the Pocket 3 in my backpack. Anyway, I didn't sit on the seat because you can see here, it is extremely muddy all around. Let's get me out of the shadow, or my shadow out of the way. As you can see, it's pretty muddy. Anyway, the bike. So here it is. And as I said, it is size-wise, in every detail, it's identical to my original bike. That's what I was looking for. So we've got the 16-inch wheels side by side with my 15-inch wheels. They look exactly the same. Disc brakes front and rear. Lovely springs on the saddle, as you can see under there. There isn't any other suspension on it. Doesn't need it, in my opinion. And here we have, as I showed you when I was driving along, the simple controls. Everything clips together nicely because it is a folding bike. Lovely connections. So at the moment it's off. Just there is the throttle. And all you do is press this button here and that's it on. And then you just get the bars on that little meter there. You can see 4 bars, any other information I want. Phone fits in there, on Waze or Google Maps. Over here, we've got a light switch, oh, it's on. Put it up, and then we have a nice rear light there. I'm sure you can see LEDs, and we have the light at the front here, which is extremely bright at night. We also have, I'm not sure if I can reach to show you, but brake lights. Let me just turn those lights off. So we have brake lights on either lever. And once you have switched it on here, you can then keep pedaling and you can feel the pedal assist coming in. And we have the throttle here. You'll see it want to move. There it goes. And as I said, you can vary the amount you turn that while you're pedaling, just to give you a little bit of help, just to give you a little bit of help if you need it. And the horn is one of the loudest I've ever heard. And that's probably not going to sound as loud as it actually is. Anyway, there it is. It's the DYU, can't remember the model number, folding bike. I brought it around here, got to this point, and compared to the last time, I have to say, well, I feel just perfect. You know, absolutely perfect. I've used it only where I need it. I've done the same amount of pedaling as I would have done on my manual bike, but you've got the assistance here when you need it. And you're going to need it because there are no gears. Right, so last time we were here, I had a little walk down here and I think I did a little sit rep, a little situation report, but it does seem extremely muddy, and I'm not sure if that microphone is going to cope with this wind. But anyway, no, I don't think it will. If it does, here we are. That area over there, as I said before, is away from the water, through the trees, ups and downs, but pleasant anyway. And right over in the distance, I doubt you're going to see it, is the village of Perry, and the place that I stopped is just to that side of it. And then way over in the distance is the dam. And I've got to carry on now around the side here, and it's a little peninsula sticks out. You go round that, and then up, I don't know if you can see those houses. You go up through some houses and then into Grapham village itself, just for a little bit, and then make your way back to the start. And that's 9.5 miles. And I suppose one thing I should check is where we are with the power on the bike. Now, as I said, I was able to do at least half the circuit with no assist. In fact, the power off completely. It does say that there are varying things that they say that you can get distance wise, but anyway, it's still got 4 bars, as you can, and I would expect that. So I've got plenty left, so if I need more assistance I can use it now. If I wanted to just chill for the rest of the journey I could do. But anyway, all in all, I am really pleased with that bike. Check it out on Amazon. I will put a link there, and you know, it varies. They keep dropping the price, then you look the next day and it's gone back up again. And I checked once, it was at a certain price. Went to get it the next day about 3 weeks ago and it was back up to the normal price. And then I checked about a week and a half later and it was lower than the price I'd seen originally. So I quickly ordered it then. That's a bit too much. Give it a bit of power. There we go. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. That really is fantastic. Still pedaling. Don't have to, but I want to. And look at that. Now that is much steeper than it would have shown on the camera. There you go. I'll just ease off a bit now and I can pedal. Turn the power off. Because having no gears, the one downside to it is you can't pedal when you're going a bit fast because your legs are going 25 to the dozen. Right, another little bit of a hill here, just pedal assist. Come on, push Paul. Come on, up, up. Right, I can feel that now. Let's give it just a little bit. I turned it off, didn't I? That's why. Let's give it a little bit. There we go. See that acceleration? Right, I'm just using the throttle now. I can't tell you what speed I'm going because I haven't got my phone on here, but oh, it's handling this pretty well. Now this is going to be a 9.5 miles when I finish. I don't, just maybe a mile and a half to go, and yep. I can actually say right now that at this point, just coming into Grapham, compared to the last time, it has been easier. Still pedalled, so I'm not losing the exercise that I want, and in some of the areas I've really pushed it, get the old legs working, but you know, if it just becomes a little bit too much and you haven't got any gears to change down or up, just bring in the pedal assist, and if necessary, some throttle. So here we are, the little village of Grapham. Right, so as I previously said, it's definitely not an off-road bike, but you could argue that you could go more or less anywhere on it. As you've seen from this circuit I've done of Grapham Water, not really anything has held it up. I mean, I know there are some areas where you'll take your all-terrain bikes and mountain bikes where you wouldn't take this, but ordinarily, you know, for stopping off somewhere, following the tracks, even pretty rough tracks and grass, it's handled it all really well. Now I'm going to be coming up to the car park where I've left the van in a minute, and we'll finish this video there. And yeah, I think I might even go to the little cafe here and have a nice cup of tea. Right, I'm going to bring the power in now. Not sure if that camera's going to pick that up. Just switch the power on here and getting a bit of pedal assist. Well, I'm actually just coasting at the moment, but let's get through here, and then we've got the pedal assist to get us up this hill. But the best thing with this bike is that you've got that throttle. Now even with pedal assist I need to change gear. I haven't got any, so I'm just going to give it a bit of throttle. Not sure if you can see that, but it's pulling and pulling and I'm still pedaling, and this is quite a steep bit there. Just get it up there like that. There, absolutely perfect. You would actually think it was designed for this, you know, as opposed to just being a, well, city bike, I guess. So if you've got one of these, get it out wherever you want to. There we go. Now, as I said, I haven't stopped pedalling all the way round. Hello. I wonder if that's a paintball site. Looks like it. Anyway, it has been really enjoyable, and I'm not disappointed with anything, if I'm honest. Nothing at all. It's worked exactly how I wanted it to. I tried drying it off a bit, but look at this. Okay, little 16-inch wheels. Oh, there we go. Give it a bit of acceleration to get it out of that mess, and back to pedaling. And there we are, just basic pedal assist. And here we are, back at the main car park for Grapham Water. Right, let's see if we can get a nice cup of tea in here. So, what do I really think? Now, both bikes did really well when you consider these are just, you know, city bikes really. Never advertised to cope with this kind of terrain, but both bikes handled it really well. Now, the manual bike, 5-speed, it was okay. The bike stood up to it really well, but I could have done with just 1 or 2 gears, particularly just to get over a last piece of a climb. And for the e-bike, well, that doesn't have any gears at all, but once it gets a bit of a struggle, you can bring in that pedal assist, and you can help that with a little bit of throttle just to get you over the top of the climb, the last piece of a climb. As I said, both bikes did really well, but I'm going to give it to the e-bike purely because you can give yourself that little bit of extra when you need it. Now, I didn't want a bike where you just sit back and do nothing. You are pedaling still all the time. I mean, that's not to say with the e-bike that you can't just sit back and use the throttle, but for me it's about using the pedals, and without any gears on that bike and that bit of extra with that throttle, it was perfect. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful, why don't you consider subscribing, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. We're Paul and Suzanne, and we'd love you to join us on our days out.